Viewer note: this story is purely fictional and intended for entertainment purposes only. However, some content may be disturbing to certain audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 14. The Proclamation of the Supreme Principles of Human Civilization. Deep in the vast Gobi Desert, northwest of Dragonia country, the central dome of the Supreme Council of Human Civilization gleamed under the morning light, a cold, hard, metallic sheen that wasn't blinding, but carried an undeniable weight, a quiet certainty, an unshakable resolve. Inside the council chamber, the air was drawn taut like a bowstring pulled to its limit. Holographic projections of the 4 regional representatives, Asia-Pacific, AP, Africa, AF, Americas, AM, and Europe, EU, floated silently in the circular meeting space, like 4 silent guardians, or 4 distinct voices, waiting to speak. The 21 executive officers of the Supreme Executive Council stood in a straight line, faces solemn. On the circular holographic display before them, the 13 supreme principles of human civilization were projected with sharp clarity, each one cut deep, not just into the mind, but into the soft underbelly of the old world. The supreme principles, announced the rotating spokesperson of the Executive Council, voice calm but firm, are now in effect. He paused, letting it sink in.
A reminder to all member state representatives: these principles have been publicly debated, globally voted on, and approved by humanity as a whole. They are the highest laws of our new civilization. They take precedence over any national constitution or domestic law. Any individual who violates these principles, whether decision-maker or executor, will be held personally, criminally liable. He let that hang in the air for a beat. Now, please begin the vote on the final implementation details.
The first real clash came over Article 3 weapon jurisdiction. The Starland Secretary of Defense, Hawkins, stiffened the moment he heard the wording about
transferring nuclear launch authority and military command.
His fists clenched instantly, knuckles white. "This is castrating sovereignty," he barked, standing up abruptly, voice shaking with anger. "We can't just give up our right to defend ourselves."
Leaving a nuke sitting on a crib is what really castrates humanity's future.
The Dragonia country representative responded coolly, not loud, but every word, like a needle. He picked up a light pen, tapped it lightly against the holographic Gobi map before him. In an instant, a spreading cloud of crimson radiation bloomed across the display.
It was your so-called accidental launch last year, he said. What if it had happened in your own financial district?
The hologram shifted, showing a once proud goddess statue melting under nuclear fire, streets engulfed in flames, crowds running in terror. Hawkins swallowed hard. His Adam's apple bobbed visibly. Then came Article 4. Nationalization of basic resources and global elimination of physical currency. It went straight for the jugular of the global financial system. The Starland Secretary of the Treasury slammed his hand down on the virtual table, nearly knocking it over.
Global currency rates locked annually? No more free trading of stocks? And you're banning all private digital currencies too? You're severely interfering with free market development, he shouted. This will kill investment incentive.
The rotating spokesperson didn't flinch. His expression remained unreadable. Instead, he pulled up a cascading stream of data.
Let's be clear, he said calmly. Private digital currencies and excessive speculative trading in exchange rates do not help the real economy. In fact, they fuel crime. They inflate bubbles. They disrupt normal trade and economic stability. We're not against markets. We're against chaos.
But the most intense and most shocking clash came over Article 9, the right to recall any leader by popular vote. The moment that article lit up on screen, the holographic projection of one delegate from a Gulf sheikhdom flickered violently, as if the signal had gone bad, or as if his emotions had just short-circuited. "This is inciting riots," he yelled, voice shrill. "What do regular people know about running a country? They just make trouble. They know hunger." Suddenly, the Africa, AF, regional projection cut in, switching to live footage. It showed a rail-thin African boy, barefoot, standing on parched, cracked earth. In his palm, 3 shriveled, nearly black wild berries. Behind him, a dusty village. A few crumbling mud huts in the distance. The boy spoke in Swahili softly. "Yesterday," he said, "the village chief traded the ballot box for a sack of flour." Then he looked down, said nothing. The entire chamber fell silent. That silence? It was heavy, oppressive, like the calm before a sandstorm, or the echo of a conscience suddenly struck. Then came Article 10, the right to public trial and global unified crime definitions. When drug trafficking and genetically modified crops were listed as equally severe crimes. The Starland Secretary of Agriculture stroked her beard, shaking her head with a smirk. "What kind of joke is this?" she said. "Climate crisis, food shortages, and you're judging people over this?" "Rest assured," came the cold reply from the rotating spokesperson of the Defense Corps Command. Behind him, the hologram exploded into a grid of crimson arrest warrant photos. Faces. Twisted. Painful. Empty. "But what about the farmers who lost their hands to drug lords?" the spokesperson continued, voice steady but sharp.
What about the kids who ate carcinogenic corn cakes?
His finger slid slowly across one of the images, a child. Empty eye sockets.
Per Article 4, our 6 core departments and 5 global headquarters AIs have already implemented comprehensive protocols. We guarantee, he said, voice dropping lower, that this will not happen again. He paused. And with Article 10, he added, almost in a whisper, we've now included all crimes that harm the physical or mental safety of others within our jurisdiction. If anyone dares to test us, the Defense Corps will deliver.
The voting concluded at sunset. The 21 executive officers stood before the dome's observation window, looking out over the Gobi Desert. Winds howled across the sands, whipping up golden swirls of dust like the earth itself was breathing, like history was turning a page. One of the Dragonia country officers, Officer Yu, spoke softly.
Back then, I was just managing a supermarket back home, he said. Never thought after that Unity assessment I'd end up here, working on something this important. Now I know, he added, smiling faintly, just how much work it really is.
Just then, all the officers' wristbands vibrated in unison. A mission confirmation notification from the global AI, Kunlun, and at the very bottom of the list of Article 10 crimes, a small, unpublicized line of text. Violators will be exiled to designated no-man's lands. Permanent exile. No human contact permitted. Over the wind, an automated voice broadcast rang out cold and decisive.
Warning. Radar has locked onto an unregistered drone near the border. Per Principle 8, engage.
In the distance, a fireball bloomed briefly, like a fleeting flower, or the last echo of the old order, vanishing into the night sky. At almost the same moment, all officers' comms buzzed with an encrypted alert.
Massive crater entrance detected in Antarctic ice zone. Possible unidentified aerial object. Investigate immediately.